DJ General Mills.
So over the weekend was the Verzuz battle between Too Short and E-40. And it probably, I'll be honest with you, it probably had one of the best backdrops for it, just because it was a real West Coast like backdrop. And I really liked it. You know, I really thought it was a creative way of showing like where they're from. You know, if you look in the background, the streets are their actual city that they're from, Oakland and Vallejo. I just thought it was a really dope thing that they put together. So if you missed it, it was a good one. It was low ratings compared to what they normally do. You know, normally they average as of now, they're averaging about 500,000 to 600,000 viewers a show. This one was only about 260, 270. There was a couple of reasons why. Obviously, the big reason was this was on a Saturday. And so normally their shows are Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, where you don't have to compete with major events. You know, people may be going out for the cities that are open, sporting events that are happening on TV, a lot of college football, a lot of preseason basketball. So all of those kind of played into effect. And then honestly, this one wasn't heavily promoted because it kind of just came out. You know, it wasn't a big, like, it wasn't a huge rumbling, like, okay, we can't wait to get to this one, because of just how like quickly it came. I think they announced this and you had a week. You know, normally you at least get 2 weeks. The longest I've seen is a month, and that was for the Gucci Mane Jeezy one. So, you know, you get normally a minimum of a 2-week break to kind of prepare for it. We didn't get that. We got, you know, a week. I think it was like 8 or 9 days. So, you know, that's the only unfortunate thing about this. I think the ratings were a little bit lower than what they could have been, but it was still a great Verzuz. Now, I didn't keep scoring this one because, like I said before, I was out. You know, I was out. I didn't have anything to write down everything. And I'll be perfectly honest, this was not my Verzuz to know every song. I did not know a majority of these songs. You know, the big records, of course, I knew the big records, the Blow Your Whistles and You and That, and I knew all the big major records. I knew some of the smaller records as well, like Freaky Tales and stuff like that. Which were bigger regional records, but they're still known records. But a lot of those songs that they were putting out from the mixtapes and just classic, you know, Too Short and E-40 songs, I didn't know them, you know, and so I'm not upset to say, okay, I didn't know this Verzuz as thoroughly as everything else. But you know, I still said, hey, I still got E-40 winning because, you know, me and him went to the same college. And, you know, I think he held his own just from what I saw online and from what I could, you know, assess as a DJ. I do think that E-40 had a very strong beginning. He had a very strong front run for the actual Verzuz. He was, you know, he had all the hits. And I think that Too Short waited until later on and had, you know, the tail end of it. I don't think that there was a way to score this. From what I saw, a lot of people who were trying to keep score ended up, you know, just kind of making it a tie. And I mean, to be fair here, they did their original 20. Then I think they did like an additional like 5 or 6 songs. And then they were just going at it. Like, this was like a 3-hour Verzuz. You know, normal Verzuz may have been like 2.5, maybe max. This was a 3-hour Verzuz minimum. And I mean, these guys was just going at it records. They was just going back and forth. I thought it was really dope. I was in Clubhouse right after, and E-40's DJ was Big Von. So he was in Clubhouse just talking about everything. Talking about, you know, everything that was happening, you know, talking about how, you know, like they was thirsty. But he gave me some insight. You know, I thought it was a big crew there. I thought it was a lot of people in there. And he said no. He was like, Too Short had maybe 2 or 3 people. E-40 had maybe 2 or 3 people. And then the rest of it was the crew that was there. So it was about 4 or 5 people, you know, there. So it was about 10 to 12 people in the spot. I thought it was going to be like Atlanta, you know, when Gucci Mane and Jeezy had theirs, each person had about 15 people on top of all the stars and everybody else. It was about 70 to 80 people in the Atlanta one. So I thought it was going to be something similar to that, but this was still a good one, you know? And I'm really happy that they did it. It sucks that they probably had to push this one early That's the only thing. You know, I'm thinking that this was a Verzuz that was slated to come at the top of the year. And I think that they switched them when Ashanti tested positive for COVID. I don't know why I think that. I just think that they didn't have enough time to promote this. There wasn't enough time to promote this one at all. Like, it was not heavily promoted at all. It was not heavily promoted. So I do have an issue with that, you know, but there was no other time for them to do it. They couldn't have done it this upcoming weekend. I think that there was just too much for them to compete with the Saturday after Christmas. Now they could have done it Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday. Now that would have been cool, you know, December 23rd, but you just never know, right? You got to do it on a proven date. I get it. I just wish more people would have saw it. I saw quite a few people who tuned into the Verzuz in the middle of the Verzuz, and they said, hey, I didn't even know there was a Verzuz on until I got on Twitter. So, you know, it is what it is, but congratulations to both of these artists, E-40 and Too Short. Both are legends in this game. Legends in this game. We don't get that traditional Bay Area sound with either or, you know. Both of them. And I mean, when they put out this album that was just, you know, that they just put out over the weekend, that album was slapping, boy. Like, it was just, oh my gosh, it was so good. Like, Too Short's 10 was great. E-40's 10 was good as well, but it just gave you an idea of that Bay Area sound. That's what I like to hear, man. When I listen to music from rappers, I want to hear where they're from. I want to hear that passion and pain in their music. You know, I want to hear, if I'm listening to two Bay Area artists, I don't want to hear a trap song. I want to hear real Bay Area stuff. If I hear a New Orleans artist, I want to hear a real New Orleans song or maybe some New Orleans bounce. If I hear a Chicago artist, I want to hear drill. If I want to hear New York artists, I want to hear either drill or boom bap. You know, if I hear an Atlanta artist, cool, give me trap. You know, but let me know what region you from. Let me know where you at, how they listening to it. You know, I just want to hear certain things when I'm listening to these types of music. So this was good though. This was really good, really, really, really good. I'm very happy that they did all of this, the promotion, everything that they did for this. Congratulations to them. Big bombs to the legends. Big bombs to the legends. Those gentlemen are both legends in this game, both of them. And besides, I mean, the memes were hilarious. If you didn't see the meme of E-40 dancing or Too Short, you know, smoking weed or whatever, like, it was just all like, it was just good times, just everything. So big congratulations to both of them.
DJ General